My name is Bianca Byrd. I'm at Cornell College in Iowa, Mount Vernon, and I asked Bill Richardson today about what his plans are if he wants to pull his troops out as soon as possible. What he said was the day that he gets into office, what he plans to do to stabilize that country, because it is in a civil war and there are lots of issues going on with the people and the surrounding countries, and what will influence that too. Because personally I think it's going to implode if we pull them out right now.
And how do you do? How do you answer your question?
He answered it better than I think anyone else could have or would have answered it. I mean, what I was hoping for him to say was, we're gonna get him out of there, and then we're gonna put something else in there to do what we should be doing in there, which is helping that country, because it was in a bad place, and I think it's not in a bad. I mean, despite the fact that yes, financially they'll be fine. They've got lots of resources and they've got lots of money, but the thing is that, like, politically and socially, that they're not going to be fine. There's a lot of angry, hurt, and just confused people. So.
Well, I mentioned this plan, and that's a very good question, because I get this question. They say, well, Governor, are you just for getting the troops out? No, I'm for getting the troops out, but having American diplomacy take over instead of American military presence. What does that mean? That means sponsoring a Dayton-type conference where you get the Sunni, the Shia, and the Kurds to make a deal, to have a political compromise, to share oil revenue, to share power, to possibly have a very soft partition headed by a federal government, and then to get the United Nations to set up a peacekeeping force. This is an Arab war. It should be Arab troops, Muslim troops, Egyptian troops, Jordanian troops. Help Saudi Arabia finance this. Bring in some NATO troops too. And then lastly, a donor conference. You know, get other countries to pay for the rebuilding and reconstruction of Iraq. But you know, Iraq is not exactly helpless. They have over 300,000 security forces. They've had 3 free elections. They have 150 billion reserves of oil. So they have a financial foundation for the future. And then we can pay attention to what really concerns America, which is, yes, threats of international terrorism, nuclear terrorism, loose nuclear weapon, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, becoming energy independent, helping with international poverty and disease, and you know, having a foundation of having a foreign policy based on our human rights.
How do you feel about access?
I think what I like about Richardson is that he was talking about how stability. He was talking about stability as a whole, as a country and as a world, and you know how the first thing we need to do is to fix our country, is to bring those troops back, and then start to build our economy and to build, you know, our education system, and start with that. And I think that what I liked about his ideas for Iraq is that it's like, you know, yes, those troops need to leave, and then we'll start building with, you know, just around. It's like, it's not about the last thing he talked about was terrorism. That was the last thing he mentioned. He said socially and politically and just regionally, just do what you can. And then, because once all that's done, the terrorism's not going to come from anywhere, because no one's going to be as angry anymore, you know?